Hi everyone, we are
LaChiMolala.
and we are here to review Run BTS 149.
Yep.
I believe yes. It is part 2 of the interior design challenge, and we're going to get to see what they actually make of these spaces because last week we didn't get to see very far. They didn't get very far. So I was excited to see what happened. Tammy, what did you think?
Oh my goodness, so cute. Like the whole entire process. I loved it. Okay, not gonna lie, RM. Oh no. um yeah, maybe he should hire IKEA to come over and build his furniture.
He's better at destroying than creating furniture, I think.
100%. Yeah, but I loved, oh gosh, well, where should I start? J-Hope, oh my goodness, he is so sweet, like full of positive vibes, no negativity whatsoever. Like even when that one part when Jin walks over and whispers to him as V was like splashing the yellow paint all over the wall. Jin whispers like, should it be like that? And then J-Hope was so sweet about the whole entire thing.
Wasn't he immediately like, good job, Tay? Good job. Like,
Yeah.
compliment city, just throwing them all his way.
Yeah, and then like when Jin was painting, like, what do you call it, the windowsill? Is it windowsill or
Yeah.
I'm so not good at this. um yeah, not a homeowner. Okay, anyways.
Nope.
Yeah, like it's so funny because the guys really love it when J-Hope compliments them. So yeah, he was definitely painting way faster and like, he was full of confidence.
I've had a lot of managers who could take a note from J-Hope that people will work a lot harder if you compliment what they're trying to do, even if it's not perfect.
Yeah.
Like you work harder for someone who makes you feel good about yourself. A lot of negative criticism doesn't get you anywhere. So take note, old managers.
Exactly. 100%. Yeah, what did you think about it?
Oh gosh, I was torn because I'm not sure I would have let Jin's team decorate my house, but I loved the like vibrancy behind it and like the thought process. Um, Suga's team was a little more boring, but it looked more livable.
Yeah.
But I wasn't sure. I loved when Suga was joking around saying, were they filming a documentary? Because they were all so like just in their task, just working away, which I thought was hilarious. I felt like they were much more focused and the other team was just kind of like trying to figure it out.
Yeah, willy-nilly. You have V being like the designer, unique designer going off the deep end. I would think.
I love the painting he did at the end on the blackboard.
Oh my gosh,
I really love that. I love when they painted the windowsill yellow. Like there were a bunch of great ideas. I think they just needed more time.
They needed to paint more and not make it look so, as Suga would say, abstract.
Yeah, I think maybe if they chosen like a lighter color so it wouldn't have been so blotchy after just one go round, that it would have turned out better. But I also thought it was hilarious, like Suga and JK can put together anything apparently within 20 minutes. I mean, they both did 3 pieces of furniture. How long did Jin spend on that one like metal thing with the door that you're not supposed to open?
A very long time.
I didn't even know what that was. I'm like, what is that? What is that for? I don't know.
I didn't know what it was. It looked like one of those like old school, like, I don't know, like, I don't know.
No idea. I have to say I loved, even though we saw it in the preview, I still laughed a lot when RM was trying to figure out how to make that light stand work, and he was just like walking in a circle being like, it won't tighten. It was like a silent movie. I was dying. It was so funny.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely Jin's team was very more like they were way more entertaining than Suga's team for sure. Because there were moments where even like the production team was like, "Oh, they're so quiet.
Yeah.
They're so quiet, and their backs are turned to us." Focused, you know?
They're like, what a waste. At least look at us if you're gonna be quiet.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
thought Jimin was funny though, how he was like trying to bring a little life over there, and mostly it was just like he didn't have anything to do.
Yeah, he was singing.
Yes. Oh, I loved how Suga had like a bunch of songs. He like was like doing his own playlist, which was nice. But yeah, I loved how Jimin basically was just bothering JK and Suga while they like made stuff. It was so funny.
That one scene when whatchamacallits, Jimin, he walked over with he wanted to help with the lamp, and the sugar turned over and was like, "Oh, you're distracting me."
Get out of here.
Pretty much go away.
And he was like,
Yeah, and that other time too, like there were three little spats from both of them. Either they were jokingly annoyed with each other or whatnot, but like that was one. The second one was when he did this. When he asked Suga to come over to help him with the mats, and because initially Suga was like, "Oh, I'm pretty much free," and then he changed his mind all of a sudden,
yeah, he changed his mind and didn't tell him. He was just like,
yeah,
oh, I'm busy now.
yeah. And he was like all pouty like this, like. And then there was like another time too, right? That I think they were just jokingly annoyed at each other.
Yeah. It was probably when Jimin asked for his opinion on where to put the couch, and then Sugar gave it, and he was like, but I think the couch should be here, and then explained why. And Sugar's like, well, fine, put it wherever you want it. Like, what?
you want.
Sugar's response was like me to my sisters most of the time, where it's like, just tell me what you want. Like, don't ask my opinion. Just tell me what you want, because obviously it doesn't matter. Because Jimin was set on having the couch with the back to the window, as he told everyone. It was very important because it's his favorite spot for a couch.
It's the lighting. Lighting's important.
I just thought that was so funny. And then they hid the drawers behind the mirror, and they were like, this is a great hack. I was like, is it? I'll never use those drawers. They're behind the mirror.
I guess that would be a good hack if you're living in a studio apartment, which is, it looks like that's what it is.
Yes, I didn't see how you would be able to use the two bottom drawers. Like, I don't know. It didn't seem practical.
I think they're minimalists. That was the look that they were going for. So whatever crap that you had, like you would hide it in those drawers.
Oh, I also loved when JK was having an issue with the bookshelf, and they were both like, oh, one shelf is in. One shelf is how we do it now. It's all the rage. You don't need more than one shelf. It's ginormous. It was like 8 feet tall. You don't put one shelf in an 8-foot tall bookcase. Like, what the? I mean, I own a lot of books, so that just didn't work for me.
Maybe that's a trend in Korea. Yeah. Did you look up the they kept saying that it's like this is Run BTS, not Extreme Job.
Oh, I didn't look it up. I was figuring it was somewhat sort of like reality show there, right? Did you?
I did look it up, and hopefully I looked it up. So anyone out there that is watching this, please correct us or me if I'm completely wrong. So it turns out to be a really popular South Korean movie in 2019, and basically it's a bunch of like narcotic detectives trying to bust a gang, and in order to do so they went undercover, owned a chicken shop, but like a fried chicken store, and then it gets even better. Okay, I definitely want to watch this. Okay, it gets even better. And so then they own this like fried chicken store, these own it, and then after that they created some sort of recipe that draws everyone in. So the whole premise is pretty much like, yeah, we're trying to bust these guys, this gang, but at the same time they're cooking fried chicken during the day and being undercover cops at night.
And they're amazing at fried chicken. Like they're not bad at it. They're like really good at it.
It's yeah, I watched the trailer and it was actually pretty funny. So I think I'm gonna invest some time to watch this movie called Extreme Job.
That sounds hilarious. To be reviewed later.
Seriously, I think we should watch this, Beth.
I mean, you're right. They did reference it like 3 times, and I meant to look it up because I was like, obviously, I'm supposed to know what this is. This is a joke I am not understanding. It's going right like this. I don't get it.
Yeah,
That's so funny.
yeah. So
I guess that matches the reference when Sugar was like, "Why am I doing this? I'm a singer. Why? Why are you making me do this?" Like,
yeah,
that was so cute.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I was like, what? Why do they keep mentioning extreme, extreme job? And I thought the same thing as you. I thought it was like the South Korean version of the American House Makeover. You know that.
Yeah, or like, wife swap. I thought it was maybe like a job version of that, like job swap
Yeah,
or something. I was like, okay, it's obviously something I'm supposed to know for sure.
yeah. So now you know, and the
Thank you, Tammy.
trailer is freaking hilarious.
I'll have to check that out.
And apparently it hit #1 in 2019, like one of the top movies of
Wow.
the year. So
Okay.
$120 million American ones or
Wow. I
yeah,
bet it's on Vicky. 100%.
yeah, yeah.
100%.
We gotta find out.
Cameo from my cat.
What's
There
up,
she is.
kitty?
She's seen every episode of Run BTS, but doesn't remember.
Yes.
Oh, I also wanted to say that I loved all the screen time they gave V. I mean, I always love that, but especially when they showed him like contemplating the wall, getting ready to do the wall, like checking how he was gonna do it, and then when he was doing it, and he was like getting all confident doing the wall, like I loved when he was like, "Look, it says DNA," and everyone's like, "Okay, sure, I don't see that, but yeah, that's fine." He just was like getting so into it, and he had his little beanie all askew, and he was like so excited. And the guy put the GoPro next to him, and he's like, "I can't have this here. Like, I'm working. Like, this has to go. This is my space. This is my canvas." I just thought it was so adorable. Like, he was like fully immersed. Again, be fully immersed in his
In his
character. And his
role.
character was muralist. He's like, "I've got this, guys. Don't worry about it. It'll be great."
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Another thing that I had to look up too, Jackson Pollock.
Oh yeah. Oh,
That's
you don't know that artist?
no, see,
Oh, he's a
I'm
good
not,
one. He's a good
yeah,
one.
I'm not very in I probably recognize the art, but I don't know the names to it. Sorry, people who are
Oh
art
no, that's
enthusiasts.
fine. You would definitely recognize it though, because it's so famous and it's American, and we live in America, so you probably you've probably seen it while you were out Namjooning somewhere at a museum or something.
Yeah,
I
maybe.
bet you. I
Yeah.
think there's some at the Broad in LA if you've ever been
Oh,
there.
yeah. So yeah, I did look up his work though. He died as a 44-year-old person. So sad. But yeah, so young. But anyways,
There's a really depressing Ed Harris movie about him if you're ever interested. If you're not.
oh, what movie is that? I should look it up. Okay, so
But
maybe
yeah, I loved when they were calling him Jackson Bollock. That was hilarious. I don't know, did RM start that maybe? I feel like that's an RM joke.
yeah, probably because like I was looking up Jackson Pollock. I'm like, I did not see any Pollock, and then it turned out to be Pollock with
Pollock.
a P, you guys, a P.
I feel like RM makes dad jokes that are like highbrow dad jokes. Like, Jackson Pollock isn't that much of a stretch, but it's like just slightly funny. Ah, it's like a chuckle.
Sorry, did not get it because I did not know. And plus, Jin makes better jokes. Very cheesy.
He does. Oh, I enjoy Jin jokes even when the subtitle people have to be like, "This is a pun on this word," and I still think it's funny, even when it's uber explained. I'm like, Jin, you're so funny.
Jin being Jin.
I love how he said they couldn't have any smudges on like the windowsill. And J Hope was instantly like, "What about that smudge there?" And he's like, "Where? And he's like, "Just kidding." It's like, "Oh, J Hope, you silly rabbit."
I know, seriously. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and what about JK and his freaking strength? Like just carrying that like chair around like it's nothing. It's like for real, okay, I've moved that chair before. It's heavy. And he just like picked it up like it's nothing. I was like, all right, all that
I
fitness.
love when Suga and Jimin were like waiting for him with that table, and he was like, "You two can pick that up," like almost mocking them. Like that table's light. Come on, get it
Yeah,
together. I'll just
no,
move this giant bookshelf by myself. Like, what? What's happening?
not gonna lie, JK was a little bit sassy in this episode for sure. He ignored Jimin. He pretty much like told his two other brothers to like chill out and move the table, you know.
He ignored the whole crew. He was just like, "I'm not doing this today. Today I'm just building furniture. Let's deal with it."
Yeah.
Also, I know it's not his birthday in Korea anymore, but still September 1st in America. So we're
Oh,
here celebrating. Happy birthday, JK.
happy birthday.
We love you. We love you. We're sending you all the wishes, the birthday wishes, and I should have had a candle.
So
But you're right. He was extra sassy. He was giving off that full like, I know I'm the main K, but I don't care. Like, you will listen to me today. Remember when Sugar was trying to hang the light and he was like, just let me do it. Just let me do it. Come on, guy. You know I can do it.
I
You're too
know.
short.
Yes. And remember, and speaking on that too, like Suga kind of doubted him too, doubted Jimin's height.
He was totally like, you can't reach that. And Jermaine was like, I already did. Here I go. Which I thought was amazing. He was like low key offended, but also like, no, it's fine. I can reach it. Sure.
Yeah, and then they busted out into like Mary Poppins and started singing.
Yeah.
I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, I guess this is how a singer's life is. It's like a musical.
Right? Just a constant soundtrack in your head going around and around and around.
Yeah.
Unless you're RM, then it's just a constant soundtrack of things breaking. Even when he was like finishing things, he was still like, I don't know, is this gonna hold up? Might. I don't know. Here you go. I think I finished it.
Yeah, I was like, oh my goodness, hopefully the chair doesn't break because the way that he like sat on that red chair, he's like, oh, it's making weird noise.
Yeah.
And
He's like, it's fine. And Jin wasn't very helpful because he was just like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. This is fine. Don't open the store. You know what I mean? Like they were both kind of like, eh. Their room was definitely more of an art piece than a livable studio. I think you could have lived in the Sugar room, but I don't think you could have lived in Jin's room.
I don't know, Jin's room would be definitely for artsy fartsy people, you know, like people who appreciate like the boldness of the walls. Yeah, you are going back to, yeah, what you said. They should have made like the walls like a tad bit lighter, like a few shades, like maybe 10. It's so bold. Oh my gosh.
Well, and paint that dark needs like 5 coats. I just didn't have time. You know what I mean? For it to look even. I think that's why J-Hope recognized that, and he was just like, "Oh, it's fine. I mean, it's abstract. That's what it is." He's like, "We're going with it. We're riding with it."
Yeah, artistic. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh wait, and we didn't even talk about the floor tile in Jin's room that had someone had wiped yellow paint all over it. Like wipe their hands on it. And I loved how, even though, let's face it, the person who dealt with the most yellow paint was probably V over in that area, but he instantly knew it was RM. He was like, "You did this, didn't you?" And RM's like, and you could see a little bit of yellow, but it was mostly wiped off. And you were like, He's like, it's fine. It's fine. It's worth more that way.
And speaking of RM and yellow, oh my goodness. Okay, so we splattering, and then he was so into it that he didn't realize that the paint like flew over to RM's table or desk. Oh my goodness, how sweet was that? RM's like, oh, it's okay. Like, it makes it more interesting or something like that, you know?
Yeah,
Like
he
he
totally was
turned
like, "Oh,
around.
it's great now," and just flipped it around. Like, I'll just put it together this way. It's fine. He's
Yeah.
so like supportive and like he seems like he's always building them up too. He like when he and Jin were giving J-Hope nonstop compliments and they weren't even turning around. They're like, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna give him compliments. This is how
Yeah.
we work and it's gonna work.
Yeah, seriously. But I thought it was funny too. When of course at one part when Suga was like complaining about like you had mentioned this a little bit earlier that he was complaining like, oh yeah, why am I doing this, I'm a singer. And then the production team was like, oh, you guys get a chance card because you guys been working hard, so what do you guys need help with pretty much. And then Suga's like, why didn't you tell me 30 minutes ago, we're almost done.
Right? He was like on his fourth piece of furniture. He's like, you guys suck.
You guys really suck. But RM's like, oh, this desk.
Like, I'm only halfway done. Can someone wrap this up? Can you imagine if they had to do the sofas? Remember, they used their stack chances to do both sofas, which obviously was really smart.
Yes, yes. And you know what? Like, it makes you wonder too, like, how long did they shoot this episode?
Yeah,
Because
because there was a lot in fast forward.
yeah, a lot fast forward, and I'm pretty sure it started probably shot like at 4 a.m. until maybe like 10 p.m. Because let's be real, they had a lot of furniture pieces, like a lot. You know, you got a lamp, a desk, a bookshelf. I get tired after a bookshelf. Like,
Oh
are
my
you
gosh, I
kidding
like throw a fit halfway through the bookshelf and then only finish it because I mean, what are you going to do at that point? You have to finish it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do another one. I wouldn't do a chair and another table and
And a
another
lamp?
lamp. No, no.
Yeah, so that was kind of crazy. So I'm like, I'm pretty sure that they took all day. And they probably recognize like, okay, this is like a very long time, they need help.
It's a good reminder for all of us out there. You know, you watch stuff on TV and you're like, oh, I could totally do that. This was like a reminder. Oh, yeah, doing this sucks. I don't like doing this.
Yeah.
I'll hire a professional. It's worth the money.
It totally is, and especially when it comes to IKEA furniture, like that, those manuals are so confusing, you know.
No, no,
Yeah,
thank you.
yeah, no, no thanks.
I
Yeah.
know they're supposedly done universally so that everyone can understand them, but I certainly can't. And there's too many screws, and they're in 100 different like sizes, and I always end up with leftover parts, which you know is a bad sign. I'm like, no, I have like two washers and three screws. I wonder where these go.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
No good.
This is where my husband excels, like at building. He's like the Shiga of building, and I'm the RM of building. Like pretty much, like he'll tell
That
me,
sounds like you cancel each other out.
yeah, he pretty much does everything when it comes to building, and I just move out of the way.
You're the Jimin. You're like the
Yeah, the
supervisor.
Jimin.
You're like, hey, you need help with that? You're doing great. Hey, that looks fabulous. Good job.
I think I'm a mesh of both, like pretty much distraction plus breaking things. Maybe not as much as RM, but yeah, I do break things a lot.
I'm
So
like a half V, half J Hope. Like I like to come up with ideas that I think will sound cool, but then like I don't really know how to execute them. But I also like to tell everyone else they're doing a great job because I feel better if people tell me I'm doing a great job. So, you know, do unto others, right?
mhm, that's the way to do it. Yeah, so that was so awesome though at the end that they were all that RM wanted was just 5 votes from
Five.
just 5.
I mean, how big is the crew? It seems really big
Yeah, was it like
because they had
28 or
28
something?
votes.
Yeah. I was like,
But
I
yeah, the fact
just
that he only wanted 5 was adorable. He was like, we got 5, man. I know we
oh
did good.
yeah. And then they were like so shocked when they received 10 votes. They were like, what? And then you see JK like clapping for them too. It was so cute. Oh my goodness, so supportive.
And before that, before they voted, Suga was like, do we even need to vote? It's obvious. He was so shady this episode.
I
He was just
know.
throwing so much shade over there. Or how about when like Jimin came over and he was like, I'll come back so that I can see it later because he didn't want to be like, I don't know what the F is going on. I'll come back when you finished. Mm-hmm.
He was shady twice on that. Jimin was like, the first time was like J-Hope like saying like, oh yeah, come over here and check out our room. And
Yeah.
then he looks around and he's like, this looks like a dungeon boss room or something like that. I'm like, dungeon boss? I'm like, what does that even mean? I'm like, that doesn't
It
sound
doesn't sound
fun.
nice. It doesn't sound nice.
And the second time around was when B was really excited about his whole like artistic wall,
Mhm.
and he was like, "Yeah, don't you see the DNA?" And then Jimin's like, "No, I'll just come back later." Like, yeah,
Yeah. I think the biggest compliment he gave that room was he was like, "Oh, it looks like you're living in a cartoon." And I
yeah.
was like, "Is that a compliment? I'm not sure."
Or even the clock being on the chair. Okay, can we talk about the clock on the chair? Okay,
I mean, what's the point of having a chair if you can't sit in it? That's
yeah,
my only thought.
exactly. That's not efficient, guys. No.
Yeah.
Hang that clock.
Yeah, yeah, hang that clock. You have plenty of wall space.
Yeah,
A
there's
lot.
a lot of wall space. And I'm like, they were all so excited about it too. And all the guys were like, whoa, this is so
Look at it.
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So cool. I love how both Suga and RM, who did the best in the quiz, were the ones who got to basically lay out the rooms. Like, except for Jimin's couch, which had to be in front of the window. Everything else kept getting changed because they were like, no, move that. No, that's weird. No, do that. I don't know. Like, they were like the critical eye that stood back and looked at it as a whole. It was so funny. I
Yeah.
like really enjoyed this episode. I know it wasn't like super like crazy. Some of their other episodes are like super high energy, but I just thought it was an interesting way to like observe them like in a more normal habitat. You know what I mean? We're used to seeing them doing like extreme things or like crazy things, and this was kind of mellow. It was literally like watch your boyfriend put together all the furniture from your first apartment, like on fast forward.
Yeah. Like, watch them build stuff.
Mhm. And it's like it's not super exciting, but I still thought it was cute. I liked it. I thought it was funny.
I liked it a lot because it's fun to see like their teamwork and their dynamic and the different units, like just working together. It's funny to see like Jimin and Suga kind of like duke it out a little bit, and then you see like then Jimin and JK kind of like banter a little bit, and then oh, wow, Jimin's like the he's okay. He's the okay. Anyways,
Go ahead, Tammy. You know how you feel about him.
I don't know what you're talking about. Anyways, and then you see like Jin and his whole team and their dynamic, which
Yeah.
is like a lot more laid back and down
Yeah.
to earth for sure.
They were totally more like this is kind of the idea of what it is. Like I feel like Suga's team was more like very practical, like this has to work. And Jin's team was like, I want to give a feeling of a studio, not an actual studio, just like the idea of it.
Yeah.
But it worked. It totally worked for them. And I honestly, I know I told you this earlier, but I finally watched that RM Jin V Live from a couple like maybe last week or whatever, where they're
Mhm.
using nano blocks to put together BT21 characters. And I just love their dynamic. I think the two of them are so funny. Like they complement each other in a weird way. They're both into puns. They're both like they can be a little old manish, but like they're also super childish at the same time. Which I'm not sure how that, I guess maybe that's how old men are. I don't know. I don't know a lot of old men. Maybe old men are just childish dudes. Probably.
Yeah.
But I love their dynamic together. I think they're so funny. The way they were like helping each other, but both doing terribly. Like neither of them could figure out their own projects, but they could help each other with their projects. It made no sense.
Yeah.
Like, it was so funny.
It made it work though,
Yeah,
some weird miraculous way. It
right?
worked.
I mean, RM couldn't even find a screwdriver at one point, and yet Jin was like, "Can you help me with this?" And he did. He was like, "Oh, that goes there." Like, how did you know that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely a fun episode, I thought. And again, love the singing in there. so random. Like the songs that like Suga was singing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people like understood the I guess
The references.
yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh, I don't.
Insert references in the comments, please. We
Yeah,
would like to know.
please, please.
But yeah, I thought it was fun, and I'm of course really looking forward to the next one. I love how they always switch it up, and they're always trying something new. So I just can't wait to see what it'll be.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So, any final thoughts or anything like that?
No, I think that sums it up. I just want, more matching outfits, always matching outfits. Those can stay.
Yes. Okay. Speaking of outfits, how are they not full of paint?
V was the only one. They said he had paint
Yeah.
all over his face, although you couldn't see it. It just looked like beautiful, shining,
I was
glowing
like,
star. I was like, does he? I can't see. Get a little closer. No, closer.
I know, literally. I know, seriously. Yeah, of course you would.
Just a little.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't see anything right there. Like, did y'all just clean it up first and then said that? But who am I to say?
They're very clean for
Yeah,
people painting. That's for
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Jimin, oh yeah, Jimin was very clean, but maybe because of the painting. But still, there
Hey,
should
you
be
couldn't see that paint. That paint was like light gray. Didn't
yeah.
show up.
Yeah, and okay, speaking of Jimin too, like it really made me nervous when he was bare feet.
Oh, yeah,
I
in a
was
work area with like screws and nails and stuff lying around.
like, don't do that, Jimin. That is bad.
You live
If
off
you
those
wanna,
feet. You're a dancer,
yeah, if you want to dance for the next like 7, 8 decades, you better wear those shoes when you're in the workspace, yo.
right? Where are your steel-toed boots? Come
Yeah,
on, dude.
yeah. It made me so nervous because he was like moving like the bookshelf with a JK, and I'm like, why is he bare feet? You know, like why? It's like, no, no, don't do that. Now it's just Mama Bear coming out.
Right.
So
Yeah. You gotta protect them. Those little puppy paws. Gotta be
yeah,
good.
you gotta protect them. You gotta protect them. Yeah, apparently those were my final thoughts.
So if you're watching this, Jamin, always wear shoes at a work site.
Mm-hmm. Never bare feet, please. If I was JK or Suga or even RM, anyone from the other team, I'd be like, dude, wear your shoes.
Dude, come on.
You
If
know,
RM had seen that, he totally would have immediately scolded him. He just didn't
mhm.
catch it.
He was just too focused on trying not to destroy stuff.
With moderate success.
Yes. All right. So can't wait for the next episode. And I don't, yeah, I just can't wait for the next episode. Like what it will be next. Ooh, is it gonna
Keep
be
them coming. Keep them coming.
I know, puzzles or like board games? I don't know. More water stuff.
Oh, I love the water episodes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll find out next week.
Yep. So that's it for today, you guys. And we are
LaChiMolala.
and we will see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.